So hello everyone, please meet the amazing Bob Dancer. Hi Bob, how are you today?
Brune, I'm well. I'm in Las Vegas and it's 80 degrees outside.
Oh, you know what? I'm in Celsius, so I'm not sure what that means. Is
It
it
is
warm?
warm.
Is it? Yeah? Okay, good. It is surprisingly warm today for a fall day in Toronto. But look at us, we are very sunny. So I'm happy to talk to you. You are going to be telling a story on Bodies of Stories, number 9. The theme is dance, and
Yes,
somehow the theme called you and you sent
yes.
me a story. So can you tell us why that theme resonated with you?
Well, my history of dance is in the country western dancing field, where it's a little bit like ballroom if you don't know what you're looking at. But ballroom dancers can see in about 5 seconds that this is a totally different kind of dance. But if you generally, the waltz kind of looks the same and the two-step kind of looks the same, but there's some differences in styling and stuff. When I was in my 30s and 40s, which was a few months ago, I was a teacher of country western dance in it was a part-time gig in a bar, which was a dance hall kind of place, a singles bar kind of place. And we would have dance lessons. So I taught 2 nights a week. And where the crowd was more interested in who they were going to meet and to go home with tonight than they were on this particular variation of the two-step. But we had a lot of fun. We had to keep it pretty simple because especially when alcohol's involved, people's concentration level on dance isn't very high. But recently I got married to a widow of, and I taught her how to dance when she was 70 years old. So
Mm.
that's going to be part of what my story's about. And then we take this vacation together where we're pretending to be something we're not, and we get into a little bit of trouble. And so that's the story, and I'm looking forward to telling it.
Yeah, that's great. I'm looking forward to hearing it and for people to hear it. So, let's talk about storytelling.
Yes.
I'm always very interested in where people started with storytelling. When was the first time you went to a storytelling show or you heard of this format of live oral storytelling, personal storytelling?
I teach classes, and so I'm regularly in front of audiences. And somebody suggested that I go to a Toastmasters meeting
Right.
and get to be a little bit better. So when I was at the Toastmasters meeting, mostly the group was about being an entrepreneur and how to sell more things and get people to buy things. But there were some people in the group who were really interested in storytelling. And I was fascinated by that. I'm in the time of my life where I have some free time. And so I got involved in some local storytelling events in Las Vegas. I participated in 2 of them before COVID struck.
Mm.
And neither were competitions. They were both curated where you had to apply and get accepted and unpaid, but love it. I enjoy being in front of an audience, not afraid of it at all. I personally enjoyed more humorous stories where there's something, at least some of it is will bring a smile to my audience's face. I do have some stories which are definitely serious. There's some about the death of my sister. There's some about lots of unfunny things, but my personal favorites are the ones with a touch of humor in them.
Mm. And so, how has it been transitioning to online? How do you feel telling stories behind a screen?
Well, I have done it maybe 30 times, where the first 15 were the Toastmaster groups, where we had a weekly meeting, and I know everybody there. And so, and it's a small meeting of maybe 15 people. And so I would have a different role every week. But then I started to learn about it, compete in some moth events. Somebody turned me on to Matthew Dick's book called Storyworthy. Loved it, read it twice. I actually have a podcast, and we're going to interview him on the podcast because my podcast is about gambling, and he used to be a poker player. And so
cool.
I figured out that my co-host is Richard Munchkin, who is also in the storytelling world. Some of you may have heard of him.
Okay, great connections, and I love that you have a podcast. When you sent me your bio for the show, you mentioned that you were, and I quote, the premier video poker writer and teacher in the world. I was so curious about that. So yeah, tell us a bit about that.
Well, if you're serious about video poker, basically I'm required reading.
Yeah. Simple as that.
I've written 10 books on the subject that are generally considered far and away the most comprehensive. I have, if you go to bobdancer.com, there's many hundreds of 800 word articles archived you can look at for free. And those are different every week, and they're not on a theme of any sort. The books are all on a particular theme, where if you want to learn about double bonus, it's 120 pages of that particular game and how to play every hand and what are the difficult ones and why is this hand a little bit different than that hand. When it's only a 3 here instead of a 4, and a 3 and a 4 are kind of interchangeable, but that changes everything. And so why? So I've been successful at it and got lucky in a couple of big games. So my autobiography is called $1 Million Video Poker, about when I won $1 million at video poker in 6 months. And that I wasn't a better player after I won the $1 million than I was before, but it gave credibility to some people who think, well, if he can win $1 million, he must know something. Mm-hmm. Where a lot of that was good timing and being in the right place at the right time. But there was definitely some skill in there, but a lot of it was good fortune smiling on me at that time. I've only had $1 million run, unfortunately. Always hoping for another.
Who knows? Well, that's so fascinating. So yeah, I love that we hear both about your life with dance and your life with video poker and writing and teaching about it. So you're going to be telling your story on the theme of dance with your wife, and it's such a wonderful story. Thank you for telling your story on the show. Thank you for talking to me today. Is there anything that you would like to add? Any last words?
Yes, actually. Thank you for asking. And thank you for allowing me on your show. I taught Bonnie to dance when she was 70 years old. And so little bits that aren't going to be in the talk on Sunday, but kind of behind the scenes, was there's something to the teaching an old dog new tricks is kind of tough. And so Bonnie's not in the room right now, so I can call her an old dog. Please don't tell her I said so. But so when we started the two-step, we would, now 6 years later, I'm still right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and she takes the cues. And the same with the waltz of right, 2, 3, left, 2, 3. And it looks good, and nobody knows we're doing that. And that's what you have to do, and we have fun doing it, so it's kind of fun.
That's super sweet. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. So everyone, Bob will be telling a story on Bodies of Stories #9. It's the theme is dance, and it's happening this Sunday, November 8th at 1 p.m. Eastern. So it will be a little earlier for you, Bob, in Las Vegas. But thank you for talking to me today, and I will see you on Sunday.
Very good. Thank you, Brune. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye-bye.